This is a story of pain. Lots of pain. The goal is to beat this final boss, this guy. But to get to him, we need to dive deep caves, battle massive bosses, and build a team worthy to defeat the final boss. Ark is an incredibly big survival game where you're plopped on an island to live among dinosaurs who all want to eat you. It's my job to survive and build my way to the top of the food chain to beat the game. And we've only got 100 days to do it. Let's get started. On day one, we spend some time making my character to look exactly like me because I'm beautiful. And chat named our hero Beard Good. Then we wake up, scratch this weird implant, and take a crack at fighting these tiny dinos.
Kill me really quick. I would like to restart right now.
Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of that here. Once we respawn, our brave hero crosses the river to punch some nearby trees for wood. There's a lot of resources in Ark, and during the early stages, you're forced to punch trees and forage bushes for basic materials. So here's the thing, I've literally never played Ark. Never. So we're all learning together on this one. Since it's my first time playing, and I heard that Ark can be very difficult, I set the difficulty to easy. And it's gonna stay there forever. Still on day one, and boy howdy, I have no clue what I'm doing. With chat's help, I'm able to make a few tools and eat some berries from the local bushes. But like the angry dinos, even the berries want to kill me. Because apparently, some berries do very specific things. These bright white berries give you energy and helps wake you up. But these black berries make you very tired and pass out. What just happened? So, you know, we're just laying here on the ground. There's an actual reason these berries exist, but we'll get to that later. And I just keep finding myself looking around and enjoying the beauty of this game. I mean, look at this massive dino. Look at him.
Oh, that is so cool. I want to go over there.
And then Ark, sweet Ark, reminded me that this world hates me.
Okay.
While working, chat told me about these bright cones of light. Apparently, each cone of light has a treasure chest in them, and based on the color, could mean you get some really good stuff. So it's good to visit these treasure chests as often as you can. But the twist is that your character needs to be a specific level to even access these cool treasure chests. So in this case, I can't open the chest because I'm not high enough level. So we just stare at it longingly. Also, if you're enjoying the content, please be sure to like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers, and I need your help to do that. And thank you, editor, who helped make this video amazing. And to you, all the watchers who make this possible. Day 2 was a nightmare, because right out of the gate, I froze to death. And when I got back to where I died, the game wouldn't let me loot my body.
How do I loot this guy? How do I loot him? It has all my stuff in it. Bro.
So now I have no inventory, and I'm probably gonna freeze to death again. Looking back, you're supposed to punch the body and it'll drop your stuff. I don't know why this mechanic exists, but we're still learning. So this is the first time I was getting frustrated with the video game, because Ark is massive, and there's so much to learn. We were killed by the world's smallest dinos, eaten by piranhas, and even my dead body is bullying me. I need someone to help teach me the game. I needed Tanks Bro. So Tanks Bro is one of my mods, and has played a lot of hours of Ark, and he volunteered to teach me the game.
We have friends!
So we spend most of day 2 learning about base building, basic combat, taming dinosaurs, storage, and a lot of other basic Ark skills to survive the wild. On day 3, Tanks Bro wanted to show me the deep jungle of the island. So with all of our tamed dinos, we head further up and further in, and the journey was beautiful. I mean, this game is amazing to look at, and we came upon this river. It's always nice to enjoy Mother Nature, until Ark, sweet Ark, whoa, God, decided to take a dump on this beautiful moment with giant alligators and snakes the size of minivans.
Oh my gosh.
We tried to save our tamed dinos, but it was too late. We lost everything. Near the end of day 3, Tanks Bro's final lesson was how to bolo and tame one of these flying lizards. In order to tame them, you have to bolo them until they can't move, and literally punch them in the face until they're knocked out. Once they're sleeping, you force feed them food, in this case fish, until they learn to love you. But neither of us had fish, so we were forced to swim the river. And it was going smoothly until the local piranhas kept killing us. So we'll have to catch this flying lizard on another day. And after graduating the School of Ark, Tanks Bro signed off, and we're ready ready to take on the island alone. On day 4, I actually really liked this location we ended up at, and after Tanksbro left, I got straight to work building a little house, a base of operations. I still have 96 days until we have to face the final boss, and I have lots of work to do. The basic idea was to build a small hut and expand with higher tier building materials as we unlocked them. Also, when Tanksbro left, his body stayed behind, so it was fun building a home around him. He's all the company I'm gonna have for a while. Pretty proud of how the house ended up, and our hero captures his first dinosaur, whom we will call Perry. Perry happens to be very good at foraging berries, so he will be our food source for the time being. And also, when we finished the house, Perry looked through the window and was very proud of us. After that adorable moment, we set off down the beach to kill some dodo birds because they drop leather to make a saddle. And I need that saddle to ride Perry. So check this out. This is how fast our hero forages berries. It's pretty slow. And this is how fast Perry can forage berries. Big difference. He's the GOAT of berry picking. Next thing I wanted to harvest was fish, because that's the only way you can capture one of these flying lizards. But my river is chock full of piranhas, so we tried our hand at fishing. Why isn't this working? Day 5. Today is the day we capture a flying lizard. So I go up and down the beach to try to locate one, but I got a little distracted. You see this Triceratops? Apparently, if the mother is far enough away, you can claim the baby as your own. So I built a little foundation and trapped the baby Triceratops. And come to find out, mom's not leaving her child. Makes sense? So we're gonna have to come back later. I don't think the babe can go anywhere. Now back to finding that lizard. I keep heading down the beach and finally see one off in the distance. It chose to land near this little swamp area by snakes. It's just one snake. How bad can it be? Oh god! Yeah, let's leave. Let's leave. Leaving. Leaving! I just ended up running away because the poison made me go to sleep, and then 2 raptors tried to kill me, which wasn't nice, but I killed them. Then this giant monster came out of nowhere and almost crushed my house. And thank goodness I didn't step on it because it would have actually crushed it. So our new giant neighbor decided to stick around and literally flattened half the forest around our house. It didn't bother me. He's huge and will protect me, so we're gonna let him be. On the morning of day 6, I ran over to check on my baby Triceratops. It apparently got out. It's not really a big deal, but I'm too lazy to knock down the house, so we're just gonna leave that there. Then we continued downriver to find a flying steed. On our journey, we come across a Spinosaurus that literally freaks me out. I mean, look at this thing. Oh gosh, this game is cool. But behind it is something even better. Our beautiful flying lizard. And after finally capturing it, the chat named it Lily. And then something beautiful happened. The game crashed, and we lost all of our progress. So now we gotta capture Lily all over again. So here's the thing about this beautiful game. Its toxic trait is that it loves to crash just at the worst times. And trust me, it gets way worse than this in the future. After capturing Lily, again, we head home and run into another Triceratops with babies. I was really curious what would happen to the babies if the mother was, well, you know, gone. I mean, it's only level 3. Oh, that was so fast. And then we named the first baby I Love, and the second is named Lucy. At home, it was time to feed my dinosaurs, because if you don't regularly feed your pets, they will die, like in real life. So I had to jump into the river to get some fish, and here's some rough news. Cue the violin, please. In this game, you have to be very commanding with your pets. I mean, there's this whole menu of whistles you can use to tell your pets what to do. Some of the commands are follow me, or attack something, and another is to stop following me. And I forgot to tell my brand new Triceratopses to stop following me. And during the epic piranha battle to gather fish, they both ended up following me into the water and died. And if you think about it, these poor Triceratops have had the worst life ever. Some random guy kills their mother and kidnaps them, only to be sacrificed to piranhas. Effing chat for I Love and Lucy. Poor guys. In my frustration, I attacked this tall guy. Whoa! And lost all of my armor. Day 7. Sometimes the Ark gods giveth and taketh. Still mourning the loss of my Triceratops, a random baby lizard just wandered into my camp and allowed me to claim it, and chat called it cute. Then we spend the rest of the day gathering resources to craft another saddle for Lily. All we need is either teeth from a predator, things like raptors, or this thing called kitten? The things with heart shells. like giant snails. Day 8. In the morning we look for shells and kill a turtle. No shells. But come to find out Cute, our new pet lizard, had all of the teeth we needed from an earlier raptor battle. And another fun thing is as you fight other dinosaurs, your tamed pets can loot the bodies for you. They kind of turn into mobile loot chests. And we just discovered that little tidbit. So with all the resources for the saddle, we head home, took a pit stop to watch the Spinosaurus. Ah, nature is so beautiful.
You will literally die.
The Spinosaurus. Nature is so beautiful. And before being able to fly, I was forced to drop my entire inventory because Lily can't carry that much weight. This is something we can upgrade in the future in this menu, but for now, she's a picky mistress. But being able to fly was totally worth it. And now that we're able to fly, I suddenly have a lot of questions, like how big is the map? And what is this giant red beacon over there? And come to find out, it's a portal to a boss that we must fight before we can take on the final boss in the game. And actually, if you look around, you can see 3 total beacons, which means you have to fight 3 separate bosses before you can even fight the final boss. And our hero spends the rest of the day exploring the neighborhood, and we go all the way to the volcano and learn that it's another boss arena. Must be the final boss. I mean, look at how ominous this place is. Then further north, we explored the snow biome and then headed back home. On day 9, I got a little distracted and hung out with chat for a bit. They're the reason it's so fun to be a content creator, and I want you to join the next live stream. And you know what? I'm probably streaming right now. Then we decided it was time to start upgrading the house. I wanted to build a small breezeway that led to a bigger home. But first, we gotta do the work and forage for a few hours. While working, the chat demanded to see Nana, my giant dog. So for the next minute or so, you're gonna be looking at Nana. Isn't she cute? Editor, if you could please lower a little bow on top of her head. Maximum cuteness. Then we expanded our patio roof and constructed the breezeway. Then we crafted a forge and placed it right here. Very soon we're going to use this to start smelting iron ore, and it makes other fun things like gasoline, but we'll get to that later. And don't forget I'm playing on easy mode, so the game is literally throwing experience points at me. And I spent over 1,000 points unlocking just random things. And plus we found this really cool treehouse foundation, so we'll be making one of those later. Foreshadowing. And while foraging, the chat calls my home Beard's Humble Abode. And now I need to start smelting iron ore. Where do I find that? Day 10. Apparently there's a ton near the volcano, so we take Lily and start the long flight there. The place was chock full of iron rocks, and we took all we could carry. Poor Lily's about to get quite the workout. On the way home, we see this really cool looking bird that's literally straight out of the Avatar movies. I don't know how to train it, but it would be cool to have one eventually. Then, with all the freshly smelted iron, we craft a smithy. This bad boy allows us to create more advanced items like guns and iron armor. And good Lord Almighty, this is a confusing system because there is a folder system in here. But why is it set up like a Windows XP computer? Then we make a few advanced items like an axe, pickaxe, a crossbow, and a spear. And now we can hit way harder. My next goal is to craft a mortar and pestle, because this little guy allows us to make tranquilizer arrows to tame those larger dinosaurs, like T-Rexes. Day 11. Apparently the mortar and pestle is super small and needs to be placed on a surface. I wanted to save on resources, so we crafted a bench to put it on. And I don't know what I was thinking. It's literally the height of a bench. And it does not go with our feng shui. So we're going back to the volcano to get resources to make a proper table. And sweet goodness gracious, this iron pickaxe gets way more stuff than a basic one. I ended up mining way too much stuff for Lily to carry. So we make a storage crate and leave some behind. Don't worry, we're coming back for it. Ah, that's better. And here we go. And now I can officially start making tranquilizer arrows. But in order to do that, we make a metric ton of sleep drugs. With all the sleepy drugs crafted, we combine them with well over 100 arrows to make tranquilizer arrows. I don't know what I'm going to capture, but it ain't gonna see it coming. Day 12. So let's go capture something cool. I don't really know what I'm looking for. Maybe one of those big avatar birds. Maybe a raptor. Or maybe... Okay. So here's the thing. When you tame a dinosaur, you give them food that they like. Over time, they eat the food and fall in love with you. But that whole process takes forever. Even on easy mode, on single player, it takes forever. So we're forced to defend the sleeping body of this Rex. We even had to kill an alpha raptor and shoved its meat inside the Rex. I'm assuming it takes meat, and this raptor just door-dashed itself into the Rex's mouth. Finally, when the Rex was tamed, the chat names it Napoleon. I still need a bit more iron, so we take Napoleon up the volcano to mine some more. Since Lily has weak little arms, we forced Napoleon to carry a ton of iron back home. We also learned something new today, that escorting your pets around the map is a total chore and very stressful. Napoleon has low health, and I really don't want him to die. Plus, he's slow. Day 13. We pretty much spent most of the day escorting Napoleon home. He's big and slow, so we're forced to wait on him. While working, chat told me that there's another flying beast out there that looks like one of those eagles from Lord of the Rings. It can carry way more weight than Lily and can also forge items for you. I didn't realize that birds evolved into the Bronze Era, but we set out to capture one. We find our feathery friend and force Lily to tank a few hits so I can safely shoot it with sleepy arrows. And while waiting on the bird to be tamed, remember, it takes forever, I accidentally froze to death. Gosh! Then we were forced to run back butt naked, and we had a few close calls. The locals don't appreciate streaking. Back at the sleeping bird, we make a campfire and wait for her to wake up, and the chat calls her Golden Feather. And this bird ends up being our best friend for almost the entire run. With Golden Feather's help, we get back to mining for iron, and we have her follow us home. She's a little slow, but she'll keep up. But apparently when you're too far from your tamed dinos, they will just stop following you. So hang on, let's go find her. Oh my goodness, why are you so slow? And at home, we spent the night unloading Golden Feather and did a few chores around the house. On day 15, we make a saddle for Golden Feather and our T-Rex Napoleon. And I wanted to do a bit more exploring of the island. So Chat and I decided it was time to make some fur armor. And the only place we could do that was in the snowy biome. So we take Golden Feather. Oh my gosh, this bird flies so slow. This bird is better than Lily in everything, except for speed. Golden Feather likes to meander. When we arrived at the cold area, things went from okay to just absolutely terrible. We got busy gathering fur, and while fighting, I accidentally shot Lily with a sleep arrow, and was forced to wait around until she woke up. But with the fur I already had, we crafted some fur armor to hopefully survive the cold. Once this little icon turns red, it means you're losing health, and mine was dropping quickly. Eventually, the deep cold was too much to handle, and I was forced to flee to warmer climate. But it was too late. The cold was too much to handle, and I was forced to take the long run butt naked back to my body. I learned a valuable lesson that day, is that I should always have a backup pet to fly me back to my body. But for now, we're hoofing it. Then I died to a snake. God. So we're back home again. Unfortunately, our body is so far from us that I'm forced to resort to aggressive measures. We need protection while we travel this island. We need Napoleon. So I put on some leftover armor and hop on Napoleon. And I've never felt more safe in my entire life. Napoleon can one-shot everything in its path. The problem is that he's got 0 stamina, so we're forced to slow walk the majority of the trip. He also got poisoned by the snake and can't regenerate his stamina, which makes this trip even slower. But come to find out, Napoleon moves faster while following me on foot. So now he's become my bodyguard, while I run like a coward. Then we came to this cliff. It was a little steeper than I thought, and I hoped Napoleon would survive the fall. Oh no. It hurt a lot losing our first T-Rex. Napoleon was a brave soldier, a true alpha, the king. And thanks to his sacrifice, we were able to finally make it to my body. But something magical happens. Why? So normally, when the game crashes, I want to punch a hole in the wall. But this time, the Ark gods smiled upon me. When we loaded back in, Napoleon was alive, and we got a second chance to keep him that way. So instead, we forced Perry to run me the whole way there. Look, it's way easier to replace him than a Rex. Day 16. It took us all day to get my old body and walk home with Barry. And this is the only time I was happy to do the same thing twice. Napoleon's worth it. Back home, we started doing some house chores and upgraded to metal armor. It's time to upgrade my house because it's gross and I want to fix it. But today was a long day and it felt good to focus on the house. This time I wanted to build using stone pieces, which means we need a lot of it, as well as iron. On day 17, I take Golden Feather to the volcano for that stone and iron. But we noticed I get a lot of extra stone when mining iron ore. So I was curious, how much more resources could I gather if we mined fancier stone? So we headed into the volcano to mine these black obsidian stones. But inside the volcano, this goofy Rex was just, relaxing. And we decided, instead of mining for stone, we're gonna capture another dino. But then... let's see how much progress I lost. Okay, so luckily I didn't go back too far, but something far worse ended up happening. Oh god. Hey, you know what? That's okay. We have Lily. Let's just quickly go back and collect my body.
Hello there.
Oh hey, it's me again, naked, with no backup plan. Since I have no idea how to walk to the top of the volcano, I'm forced to run into the redwoods and capture another flying pet. And our hero managed to get 2 knocked out and started the taming process. And now I'm forced to wait here until they wake up. We waited well into the morning until our new friends woke up. So Operation Save the Birds is underway. And I'm not gonna lie, it felt good to kill this dino. He deserved it. And I just want to remind everyone that all of this happened because I wanted to collect rocks. On day 19, Chat and I decided it was... Welcome to Ark. On day 19, Chat and I decided it was high time to explore the rest of the map. So we hopped on Lily and headed out. The goal was to uncover the entire map, and I wanted to see where the good Lord put us. It took all day, but we managed to discover every square inch of the map. And at home, we got back to work on upgrading the house. After an eternity of mining rocks, this is all I could make, a basic foundation outline. So mining rocks is literally the worst. So we resorted back to wood materials. Then we filled the center of the foundation and ended the day putting up walls. And while building, one of our flying pets, Nana, got stuck on the floor, and we decided to leave them there because it was funny. On day 21, I decided that I never wanted to grind that hard for materials again. So we raised our resource output to 3 times higher. Some of you enjoy mining rocks. I wanted to bang my head on them. Now that upgrading the house is way easier, we started working on the ceiling. However, Nana was getting super in the way, and I had to tear up the foundation to free her. But Nana refused to move, so we did the humane thing and... Oh. I see. And you're gonna find out real soon that this little glitch, getting stuck in the map, is about to get much worse. Then we decided to tame another T-Rex and started prepping for boss fights. Don't forget that in order to fight the main boss, we have to fight 3 other bosses first. And luckily we stumble upon a female T-Rex and knock it out. And now we wait. On day 22, we have to protect our catch of the day, because if anything is sleeping, other dinosaurs will try to eat it. And once the Lady Rex woke up, it was time to take the long walk home. At home, we wanted to start breeding these Rexes together to make an army, but we had important things to do first, because Chad and I noticed that they aren't a married couple. So before breeding, we held a small wedding ceremony to make Napoleon and our female Rex husband and wife. We are gathered here today to join together Napoleon and Rex. Napoleon, do you take Rex to be your lawfully wedded wife? Well timed. Okay, very good. Rex, do you take Napoleon to be your lawfully wedded husband? I take that as a yes. Now, by the power invested in me as your owners, you may kiss the bride. Now you are allowed to make babies and stuff. And then we enabled mating. So I never mated anything in this game before, and of course we were going to intensely watch the action, and come to find out nothing happens, and babies just get pooped out as an egg. Okay, so apparently there's a whole science to hatching eggs. Some eggs need to be a specific temperature to hatch, and some demand AC units pointing at them. Yes, those exist in the game. And somehow while building my base, we constructed the exact environment to hatch T-Rex eggs. And apparently all you need is like a patio and 2 tiki torches. And while waiting for our eggs to hatch, the chat calls our mother Rex Wendy's 9-patty T-Rex burger, aka Wendy. And our new baby green Rex, Diarrhea Whopper. You can blame chat on that one. This is the beginning of our boss fighting army. You are sweet little diarrhea. are the first of many, and apparently once dinos lay eggs, it takes a few days for them to do it again. So we've got some time to kill. And speaking of bosses, let's talk about how we fight them. So each boss must be summoned at one of these giant metal platforms. However, they require specific artifacts before you summon them. To find these artifacts, you must travel all around the island to find 10 hidden caves. And at the bottom of these caves are artifacts that you can use to summon the bosses. And that's pretty much how you progress through the game. Dive into all the artifact caves, summon 3 angry bosses, and then you're able to fight the final boss. Easy? No. No, it's not. In fact, these artifact caves are insanely difficult, and you'll find out later. And on day 23, we strike out to find one of these caves. And just a reminder that I've never played this game before, so I have no clue where to look. And thankfully, chat guides me downriver to where an artifact cave may be. But while looking around, I get distracted again and started taming a Rex. And while waiting for it to wake up, we fly the coast for this elusive cave. And apparently there was a cave nearby. The entrance was just really small. So we gave up and tamed this other smaller dinosaur, because apparently it can help mine rocks faster. And once the Rex and the rock smashing dino woke up, we took the long journey home. And the chat also named the Rex Mickey D's Dino Nuggies. So with our new dinosaurs at home, we make the journey back out to find an artifact cave. But for the life of me, I cannot find one. We went up and down the coast where it's supposed to be, but I don't know what I'm looking for. So the chat recommended trying to find a different cave. So we headed to this cave called Immune. And even after so much searching for that cave, we ended up Googling the location on the map. And finally, we found the entrance to the Immune Cave. And sweet lord, this cave blends in. And look how little the entrance is. I was expecting, I don't know, man, a much bigger entrance. The chat stops me before going in because apparently I needed a gas mask to do this cave. So they guide me to a cave up north called Skylord. With a little help from the internet, we find Skylord entrance, and I get the poop scared out of me right at the entrance. 13 from a... Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Unfortunately, my armor breaks immediately, so we have to turn around and go straight home to fix my armor. And it took more time traveling than it did to repair my armor. But when we returned to the cave, my game crashed. So out of all of the artifact caves, chat told me that Skylord is by far the easiest, and they were right. With only a spear and metal armor, I was able to walk to the artifact no problem. Sure, there was a few bugs and bats, but nothing a good old pointy spear couldn't handle. But just like the constant game crashes, another kind of bug was waiting for me at the artifact. And when I got to the artifact, we were elated to finally find our first of many. This was step 1 on the long journey to battle 3 bosses, and eventually the final boss. But I couldn't walk around the artifact. This is where I came in, and this is where I have to go. And there's this pit that will kill me if we fall into it. I tried multiple times to go around, but no luck. Eventually, we took one last-ditch effort to leap around and back in, but the pit took us. Apparently, I was supposed to bring a grappling hook with me in this cave, and it would let me freely swing around the artifact and over a few other pits. Day 26. Today is the day of shame and real sadness. I took one of the flying lizards to the cave and retrieved Lily, then turned around and came home. I gave up on my equipment because it's at the bottom of a pit, and luckily I didn't have anything important on me. And we spend the rest of the day resetting my resources, making new armor, tools, and a crossbow. And while rummaging around my smithing station, we learned that I can make a gun. A gun? A gun? I can make a shotgun? And then I became obsessed with making ammo for our future shotgun. Day 27. Come to find out that making ammo for a shotgun is very time consuming and requires a lot of different resources. It ended up depleting my entire stash of iron and was forced to go back to the volcano to get more. It seemed worth it because guns are better than a pointy stick. And now we wait for this iron to smelt. So while waiting for our juicy ammunition, let's get started on a breeding area for Rexes. I wanted a dedicated place to keep the breeding couple separate from our future army of Rexes, and for the privacy. Well, because look, you get the joke. The first slabs of foundation turned out just big enough for Napoleon to stand on. We need a bigger floor. While working, our beautiful Rexes made a new egg, and we quickly hatched it. And everyone say hello to Nana Jr. And come to find out, Diarrhea was our only female Rex. So we paired her with our alpha Napoleon, in the breeding area. Day 28. Now that the breeding area is done, let's return to our shotgun ammo, because it had plenty of time to smelt. And after a day and a half of work and depleting all of my resources, I came out with 52 shotgun shells. I hope they're worth it. Afterwards, we unlocked scuba gear and a gas mask in our blueprint menu. We need that gear for future artifact caves. And afterwards, I crafted a fabricator, which is basically an upgraded smithing station. It allows us to craft even fancier gear like scuba equipment and a gas mask. Day 29. Today, we spent the morning learning about the fabricator. It was quite the adventure, because the forge demanded only wood to light the fire. This bad boy needs gasoline, which means I need to learn how to craft that. And luckily, I've got chat to help me with any question I've got. Otherwise, I'd spend hours Googling all my questions. So to make gasoline, it requires oil to cook in the forge. And chat guided me to a good spot to collect the oil, and we ended up with 5 stacks. And before ending the day, I wanted to take another crack at an artifact cave. And chat helped me find a cave called the Strong Cave. And it had me running for my life. It was full of high-level monsters that shredded my armor, and my shotgun did very little damage to them. So with my tail tucked, we headed home to repair our armor. And you're gonna find out real soon that the Strong Cave is one of the hardest caves in the game, and made me rage quit on multiple occasions. That's later though. The next day I wanted to have one more try at the Strong Cave, but it was more of yesterday's news. This time I was freezing to death, so we're gonna need a full set of fur armor before we go back in. And it was about this time when I realized that we really needed to focus on these artifact caves. If they're this hard, I can't even imagine how hard the bosses will be. And I want to take a hard pause to teach you a phrase I learned while playing this game. It's called getting arked. I mean, you can use it differently, like got arked or I was arked, but basically being arked, which means that a random event happened that literally ruined your day and will take hours to fix. Because all day today into tomorrow, I was arked 3 times. Let's get into it. The first got arked moment happened while I was exploring the map with Lily. Since Lily was my first flying pet we caught, I just like having her around. Our brave hero wanted to kill this giant snail on the ground, and suddenly, disaster struck. An alpha raptor attacked us and killed Lily! When we defeated the raptor, it was too late. Our sweet Lily was gone. Flying with the great lizards in the sky, chat and I held a beautiful ceremony for Lily. And if you're watching to this point, put an F in chat for Lily. However, as Ark taketh, it also giveth. While saying goodbye to Lily, a giant bear wanders in our area, and we begin the taming process. And while waiting for the bear to tame, we punch this random flying boy in the face and start taming it as well. The chat ended up naming the bear Shadow Mining Wizard Jr. and our new flying pet, Long Sleeper. And we had big plans for Long Sleeper. Losing Lily left a giant hole in our heart, and we needed a new pet to fill the gap. And look how good Long Sleeper looks. It'll be good to have a fresh start. Oh my gosh! Are you serious? Really? We just got him and this happens! And ladies and gents, this was our second got arked moment. We held another ceremony for Long Sleeper. He's taking the longer sleep in the sky now. Goodbye, buddy. And after a long hike home with our bear, we make fur armor and jump on Golden Feather to continue the search for artifact caves. And this is when the third arked moment happened. And this one was pretty rough, because I was looking for a cave entrance and was forced to land. But once again, another alpha raptor killed me. Hey, that's okay. That's not even the worst of it. I took one of my backup birds to my dead body and grabbed Golden Feather. But right when we're about to fight the alpha raptor, the game crashed. Oh, you think this was the worst of it? So did you know when the game crashes while you're flying in the sky, the game spawns you next to your flying pet, not on it, next to it, which means I fell and lost nearly all of my health. Thank you, Ark. Thank you. Day 32. With my pride beyond hurt, we go back to doing basic house chores. I was tired of being arked, so I started the long process of making a pump-action shotgun. This bad boy hits like a truck and is way better than the shotgun we just made. Once we finished the shotgun, we hatched another T-Rex egg, and the chat named it Light Rex. And at the end of day 32, we came across a megalodon right by our house. And oddly enough, chat told me a while ago that I'll need one of these beauties to complete some artifact caves, because some of them are completely underwater. So we go ahead and start taming the big fishy. So now we're stuck staring at it overnight. In the morning, the chat named the old gal Meg Griffin. Look, I know it's my pet and that it's not going to eat me, but this thing freaked me out when it started charging at me.
How are you? We have a oh God!
And at this point, all I was thinking about was finishing artifact caves, because it was obvious that we're taking those for granted, and it'll take a lot of time for us to finish them all. So with our fresh Meg Griffin, we take to the ocean to level her up a bit. And we need Meg Griffin to be a very high level, because she's going to take us through all of the underwater artifact caves. However, before we can start those caves, we need scuba gear. And to craft that, we need pearls. Lots of them. And chat told me there's an easy place up north to mine them in the snowy biome. So with our trusty bird, we head that way. When we arrived, I got straight to diving. The pearls are apparently located on this riverbed, but for the life of me, I have no idea what they look like. Honestly, when you think of pearls, you imagine shiny circles. And there were no shiny circles in the water. And it was getting late and I needed to warm up, so we head to shore. But Ark had other ideas for me. Literally, as we step ashore, an entire wolf pack attacked me. However, when Ark gives you lemons, we make lemonade. Disgustingly sour, hairy lemonade. Instead of killing the wolf pack, we sleep arrow all of them and tame them up to be my pets. And there's literally 6 wolves sleeping on the ground right now. And while they're sleeping, we get back in the water to keep looking for pearls. And apparently pearls are located inside these clams, which blend almost perfectly onto the ground. Yeah, I think that's enough pearls for scuba gear. But now, this entire wolf pack belongs to me. And the chat names the pack leader Starstruck, and another Humphrey, and this one Snowstorm, and another Nana, Donkey, and another is named, and the wolf pack is an unstoppable army. I mean, these poor mammoths don't even stand a chance to the power of the pack. I was curious how big we could make the wolf pack, so we turned on breeding for all the puppers, and out popped a little one. And then something magical happened. The game crashed. Thank you, Ark. Thank you. So we had to reload and do it all over again. And this time we got 3 new puppies. And since I'm terrified of the game crashing, I've been saving aggressively. In fact, I was so scared of the game crashing that we made a fun redeem for the live chat to do. So
Save! Oh my gosh! Save! Quick! Ah!
I've officially made it chat's problem to remind me to save. And trust me, they do their job well. Too well.
Save! 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 Oh my gosh!
Day 35. This is the day of the wolves. Apparently breeding rules are different for the wolf pack because the pack grew so aggressively. And on top of that, we took the long journey home. You know how difficult it is to get this many things focused on following you? We literally spent all day walking home. Day 36. Still walking. But I have some bad news, and I hope you're sitting down. On the way home, the wolf pack attacked this dinosaur, and Donkey, may he rest in peace, was put down. Poor dog. Couldn't even get you home. Oh, and here's a fun moment of all of us cliff diving together.
Jump like you mean it, you cowards!
Then at home, we got our wolves situated and hatched a new Rex egg. And everyone say hi to Roxy. On day 37, we decided to level up the wolf pack a little more to become our official boss fighting army. I mean, yeah, the Rexes are coming too, but now with wolves. So now we're just running aimlessly through the forest fighting everything we see. We were unstoppable, and everything fell before us. I was too ambitious, and disaster struck. You see this giant dino? They're meant to raid bases on PvP maps. In fact, you can build an entire home on their back, and I decided to attack it with like 7 dogs. It did not go well.
Wait, are they all dead?
Rest in peace, doggies. I got a little lucky though, because I accidentally left 3 female wolves at the base, which means we can rebuild the pack. I just gotta go find a male. Could I have avoided this entire setback? Yes. Was it cool to fight Littlefoot from the hit 90s movies? Also yes. Day 38. Today is the day to rebuild the pack. Look, I'm fully aware I haven't finished a single artifact caves, but sometimes you pick bros before the shiny artifacts. At North, we tamed up a few new birds and they ended up getting stuck in the rocks. I have no clue how to free them. Thanks, Ark. So we tame another bird and go on the hunt for a male wolf. We tried a few times to tame one, but no luck. Things were always too hectic. So here's a fun fact you may not know about Golden Feather. Did you know it can pick up smaller animals, including wolves? So we tried a new idea called Operation Kidnap This Wolf, drag it against its will to a secluded spot, and force it to love me. Long name, but it worked. And the chat named our new male wolf the Great Mighty GoodBeard. and we carry our savior home to start building the pack to its former glory. Then we hatched another Rex egg called Snowy. And we spent the rest of the night organizing the wolves to have maximum breeding, because basically if they're standing next to each other, they'll do the deed. On day 40, we stared at Rex butts and hatched another egg. The chat has named it Dank. Now that we have an army of wolves and Rexes just going to town, we need to give them a bit of privacy and get back to doing artifact caves. You know, because I still haven't done a single one. And we still have to fight 3 bosses, and then the final boss. Are we gonna finish in time? I have no clue. With all those pearls we just gathered, we finished making scuba gear and took Meg Griffin to one of the underwater caves. On the way, chat convinced me to try to tame one of these derpy whales. Apparently, the upcoming cave has lots of eels that can shock you, and this whale is immune to their antics. Apparently, the only way to tame this big guy is to slowly feed it as it's hungry. However, these evil manta rays hate me, and we're forced to fight them off. Things are going well. The derpy whale is almost ours. Until I accidentally hit it. Look, I was trying to kill this manta ray, but I missed. And after you attack something you're trying to tame, they won't follow you. So we just rage quit and left. And by rage quit, Meg Griffin ate that dirty whale. Taming this whale took the entire day, and I was forced to head back home to repair my gear. So instead of doing an artifact cave, we did nothing. Just took a swim around the neighborhood. At home, we hatched 2 more Rexes, but I wasn't able to repair my gear because we've ran out of iron. So we make a quick run to the volcano. This time we take one of the wolves, and holy moly, look how far this thing jumps. And chat names it Long Jump. We worked through the night to cook some iron and repaired my scuba gear, and before heading back to the underwater cave, we hatched 1 more Rex, and chat names it, the second. Day 42. Today was so much swimming, and it took forever to find this cave entrance. But some good news, by the time we found it, Meg Griffin was such a high level that I was confident this would be a cakewalk. So I died, and all my cool stuff's at the bottom of the ocean. And life update. Monsters in the artifact caves are much higher level than you are. So here I am, standing naked at my bed. In my shame, we turn back to house chores, and I realize I'm running out of food to feed my animals. And also that my wolf pack made tons of new puppies. So we forced everyone to stop breeding and went on a hunting spree. Hang on, let's give Littlefoot some space. Honestly, on day 44, I was all over the place. We tried to tame another Megalodon, make some scuba gear, but none of that actually got finished. This game is so big that it's easy to get distracted by another task. The big note here is that we decided to start locating all of the artifact caves. If I can't beat them, the least I can do is find them. So instead, we quickly find this cave. And if you're curious, yes, I was Googling it. And while flying to the next cave location, I was trying to whistle to tell one of my birds to fly further away, and instead I leaped off the mount to a quick death. Don't die. Hang on, let's grab a backup bird. Wait, where is my backup bird? Buddy, you here? Oh, we forgot to feed the backup bird. So we were forced to ride a wolf back to my body, and we carried him around. Then we spent the rest of the day locating all of the caves on the map. The only one I actually didn't see was Brute, another underwater cave. But this was the general area of it. And now that we know where all the caves are, we can start phase 2 of our plan. Use the wolf pack for the artifact caves. Since my backup bird is dead, we made a saddle and put it on this one, and chat named it Skylar. Then we spent the rest of the day preparing for our official first cave with the wolf pack. This'll go great, right? Oh my gosh, things went terribly wrong. Where do I start? In the beginning, it went well. We guided the pack to the first cave. They destroyed everything inside. It was going great. The cave was full of angry snakes, gross bugs, but the wolves don't care. We got to the bottom in no time and grabbed the artifact. Now here's where everything hit the fan. We got arked hard. The problem is how many wolves I took to the caves. So there are some tight corners in this cave, and sometimes when too many dogs get crammed into a tight spot, they get stuck in the rocks. Like this poor doggy. So I don't know how to fix this problem. Instead of leaving it to starve, we were forced to put the doggy down. Poor guy. Hearing the yelps was the worst part. But trust me, it gets worse. Ark is not done arking me. The next problem was my bird, because it also glitched into the wall. Then we found another dog stuck in a rock, and I don't even want to talk about these two who fell through the map. So luckily, Chad taught me how to use console commands to save my bird, and they told me about an item called a cryopod. These bad boys are basically Pokeballs. You can capture any tamed pet inside them so they can quickly be moved. In my case, we can save the wolves by using cryopods. I wish I would have known about this mod, I don't know, 20 hours ago? But this is how we're going to save our lost wolves. Day 48 and 49. We headed home to make a few cryopods, but we had to make a few trips first and spent most of the time getting wolves unstuck and getting home. But we were able to save all the dogs except for this one. This is where he belongs, under the map. But at least we have an artifact. Thanks, Ark. F in chat for the lost wolf. You'll be missed. Day 50. We started to rebuild the pack, and then triplets popped out, so we stopped rebuilding the pack. Thanks, Ark! So moving forward, we're going to leave behind one male and one female of Rexes and wolves so we can quickly replace lost members of the team. Then we picked 5 wolves to head to the next cave, the Pack Cave. And to save time, we put them in their cryopods. Now let's go do some serious caving. We arrived at the next cave and tossed out our pods, and everyone's asleep. What? So apparently, when you throw your first cryopod, there's a timer in the bottom corner of the screen. Right there. If you wait until it hits 0, you can throw another cryopod to avoid the sleeping dinos. But I didn't figure that out for a long time. So, in the meantime, we wait for them to wake up. This next cave is an absolute maze. But here's a recap. Some of my wolves just flat out disappeared. I have no clue where they are. Another wolf died by piranhas and giant crocodiles, and my last surviving wolf died by poisoning. So there I was by myself with a spear. We tried to press on, but it didn't go well. So let's go back home. Day 51 was a little weird because I had to take my emergency bird back to where we died, then gathered the stuck wolves in the cave and headed home. I wasn't a big fan of my wolves clipping through the floor, and I'm not saying I failed because of that, but the cave would have gone much smoother. We even considered using console commands to cheat my inventory back, but we're not about that life. We spent all of day 52 restocking my inventory, new armor, weapons, and restarted the wolf pack. They're my only hope to deal with the artifact caves. We also made a saddle for my bear because he could be useful in the caves as well. I mean, look at him. He's massive. With everything restocked, we head back to the pack cave to try again. Unfortunately, my bear wouldn't fit through the entrance, so he had to wait outside. Squeeze, bear! Come on! Things go smoother, and I'm able to grab my lost inventory. But don't forget, this whole cave is a maze that also has underwater tunnels filled to the brim with piranhas, and we're forced to continue wandering around. Further down, I didn't realize how expansive the tunnels were, and we ended up losing the pack. The dogs had been protecting me while swimming around, and now it's just me, again. After a lot of solo swimming, a single piranha finished me off. At this point, I still had no idea where the artifact was in this cave. When we respawned back at the base, I did the usual inventory restock, and chat told me about a dinosaur called a berry. It has a longer name, I know, but we're calling it a berry. It's very complicated. Apparently, it's very strong at doing artifact caves, and if we had one, I didn't need to bring my wolves to the caves anymore. Honestly, any excuse not to deal with the constant glitches of the wolf pack was welcome, and we tamed one up, and everyone say hello to Sharptooth. Day 54. We spent most of the day leveling up Sharptooth and tried the cave again. And here's the thing, Sharptooth is just awesome. Look at this guy. A few chomps and everything dies. Amazing. And luckily we found our lost backpack, but I still couldn't find the hidden artifact. So with the help of Google, it showed us a shortcut up this wall to get to the artifact quickly. And we finally had our second artifact. So we head home, drop off the artifact, and start prepping for the next cave called Massive. Oh hey, don't mind me. Still prepping for the massive cave. Let's go, Sharptooth. We've got a cave to destroy. Day 56 through 57. Yeah, massive was crazy easy. Look how strong Sharptooth is. I'm so proud. We also finished up this cave with tons of lava and did some close call jumps with Sharptooth. But we came out on top. I don't think this was the intended way to beat this cave, but who cares? We've got Sharptooth. After that, we headed to the Clever Cave and quickly found the artifact. Finally, after days of running around, we have enough artifacts to summon the first boss, the Brood Mother, an angry spider. Day 58 is prepping day. I run around making cryopods because my herd of T-Rexes must come. Before heading out, we leave the usual 1 male and 1 female Rex, just in case. Then we jump on our trusty bear and run to the first boss area to summon the giant spider. I rode the bear because he's really good at foraging berries. Plus he hits like a truck. And I still didn't know about the cryopod timer, so while we wait for these pile of T-Rexes to wake up, we forage for these white stem berries to help them wake up a little faster. Day 59. Gosh, we have a lot of crazy suckers right now. Look at these sleepy dinos. Finally, after they wake up, I placed all of my collected artifacts and took on the spider boss. The army of Rexes were unstoppable. But I'm also stuck in the middle of them, and I can't move. Someone help! No. We have a major problem. You see, every boss drops a chest. That chest. It has an item you need in order to summon the final boss. Since I couldn't move inside the pile of Rexes, I wasn't able to loot that chest. So guess who has to fight that spider boss again? But first we have to go recollect all those artifacts again. Ah! So it's back to work. To save space, I'm keeping all my Rexes inside their Pokeballs, and we head to the Clever Cave for the artifact. But I changed my mind and decided to drop the dinos off back at the Brewmother's arena, so I don't have to wait for them to wake up. I still wasn't aware of that cryo timer. While flying back to the boss arena, I accidentally fell off a tall cliff, and Sharptooth died. Ugh, thanks, Ark. There's just not enough levels in the world to survive fall damage. So that stinks, but here's my problem. I'm too laser focused on fighting the spider boss again. It's day 61, and technically, I've made 0 progress for the final boss. So out of desperation, I kidnap this raptor and tame him up. Looking back, we should have taken the time to get another Sharptooth, but we didn't, and everyone say hi to Scratchy. We spend a lot of time leveling up the raptor till I felt like it was safe enough for him to enter the cave. I mean, he's definitely strong enough to fight these bugs in the lava cave. I'm gonna die. Oh no! Day 62. I've become too familiar with being naked in this game. Thanks, Ark. Since my new raptor, as well as all my stuff, is in a pool of lava, we definitely gotta reset our stuff. Should've took the extra time to get that Sharptooth. So we take our backup bird to rescue Golden Feather and start the long hunt to find another Sharptooth. With our bird friend, we roam the swamp until we find the perfect catch. And chat calls him Berry, and we love his color. Oh gosh, you know what? Our base is in a terrible spot. Sure, it's easy to live here, but it takes forever to fly north. We should really be near the center. Chad and I decided that we really should make a new base in the center of map, and I need a little break from artifact caves. So this time, we're gonna make a tree base. Plus, being in the center will allow us to get around the map much faster. In the long run, it will be worth it. It's gonna take a while to craft the tree base because we need to smelt a lot of iron. So while we wait, we start gathering the spider boss artifacts again. Day 63 was pretty efficient. We complete the hunter cave and head towards the lava cave. Day 64. Still waiting on all that iron to smelt, and we parkour with Barry to grab the lava artifact and head to the final cave. Then we head home, grabbed Goldwing, and took down the spider boss. Again. And this time I looted the chest. It was nice to actually make some progress to beat the game. It feels like it takes forever to get anything done around here. Day 65. So the iron is finally done smelting, and next on our agenda is the tree base. And finally, after days of working, we craft the foundation. Buckle up, kids. We're moving. Sweet goodness, this foundation is awesome! And now it's time to build a home. Today's tasks are simple. Step 1 is to find a pet monkey. No big reason. Just having a pet monkey is cool. Step 2 is to finish the tree base, but we'll see how that goes because I'm still in the middle of finding this monkey. Where are you?
1 eternity later.
So we've given up on the monkey. He's impossible to find, but there's still a lot to do on the tree base, and the chat has named it Lothlorien. Today is moving day. We load up all my birds to start making trips for the treehouse. While making my trips, we decided to catch a few more birds. They are really useful. Other than speed, they carry a ton, have lots of health, and they're blacksmiths. I've never seen them use the forge though. I'm watching you, bird. And while flying to the tree base, we see this really cool blue bird, and I try to capture it. Unfortunately, I forget to tell all my birds to be in passive mode, which means they don't attack the bird while I'm trying to tame it. And Golden Feather killed the catch. Thanks, Golden Feather. Anyways, back to unloading the birds. So there's a lot of dinosaurs I've not even mentioned in this video. Heck, I'm not even taking the effort to say their proper names. But deep in the forest of our new home, there's just lots of fun new enemies. Things like raptors, this Bigfoot, and this giant cat. Did you know that this cat will wait on top of trees and knock you off your bird? I didn't, until a literal tiger knocked me off my bird, but thank goodness I didn't take fall damage. But speaking of fall damage, remember if the game crashes while you're riding your bird, the game will spawn you next to your mount, not on it, next to it. So this is what happened after we reloaded the game. I'm sorry. Okay.
It was nice being here.
I don't know how I survived that, but I sure did.
Thanks, Ark. Day 69. Nice. After finishing the move, we spent a lot of time making a fence line. I don't want them to wander away, and it took all day. I only stopped because chat saw another bluebird. And everyone, say hello to Mordecai Fireclaw Spunky the First, aka Mordecai. The last thing we need to do is move the herd. And to save time, we put them all in cryopods and drop a giant pile of sleeping dinos. Aren't they beautiful? To make sure the sleeping angels don't die, we craft a few feeding troughs and load them up with food. And this base is officially perfect. The feeding trays, the pile of sleeping dinos, the base, all perfect. Thanks, Ark. While redoing everything, we spot a really cool looking green bird. And of course, we named it Shrek. Then I spent the rest of the day flying around my house on Shrek, because Shrek looks super cool. And also, come to find out, my fence isn't high enough, because a random T-Rex got out of the pen. Ah, well, I'm sure he'll be fine. On day 71, it was back to business. The artifact caves still aren't done. We've still got 2 more bosses to fight before the grand finale. So we craft some scuba armor and head back to my old house, because I'm gonna need another Megalodon. Taming the new Megalodon was easy. The problem is that I made the wrong saddle for it. I accidentally made a Megalosaurus saddle, not a Megalodon saddle, and honestly, I just saw the mega part and stopped reading. That's what I get for having a smooth brain. So I was forced to take a quick trip to the tree base to make a proper saddle, and was finally able to ride our fishy friend, and chat called him Meg the Megalodon. Then we spent the rest of the night leveling up Meg to prepare for the Brute Cave, which is obviously one of the underwater caves. And plus, the Brute Cave was very far away, so we have a long way to go. Day 73. Still swimming. We probably killed millions of sharks, but we still don't have enough experience to take on the cave yet. I told my bird to follow me, so he's just hovering above the water all frustrated. Poor Goldfeather. By the time we actually got to the cave, I was forced to go home and fix my scuba gear. But honestly, I didn't really want to do an underwater cave right now. So we're gonna leave old Meg here for a while, because there's easier caves I can do. With Barry. The next boss on the list is the giant monkey. Kind of like King Kong. We finished the pack cave and took the long walk to the top right corner of the map to do the Devourer cave. Normally I put a lot of emphasis on these caves, but honestly Barry has been making them so easy. I mean, he's one-shotting everything. Maybe because I'm on easy mode. Who knows? Or I'm just that good. Plus, the caves to finish the monkey boss and the spider boss are pretty easy. Little did I know that the dragon's caves were gonna make me go insane, but more on that later. On the long journey to the Devourer cave, we finally came across a monkey pet. Literally, after 74 days, we got our monkey. And everyone say hello to Spunky the First. Took most of the morning, but we finally arrived at the Devourer cave. We would have gotten there earlier, but then I wouldn't have a pet monkey, so it was worth it. Inside the cave, we come to this underwater tunnel that I have to go in. But I still have a bunch of bad memories from earlier and that maze of tunnels we had to go through, and losing my entire wolf pack and a bunch of glitches. Rough times. Thank goodness for Barry. But to be on the safe side, we head back home to grab our scuba gear. Back in the Devourer cave, armed with our scuba gear, we dive into the pool and... oh, this was it. This was all the water inside the cave. That little swim. I wasted a ton of time. Some good news was that the walk to the artifact was really pretty. I mean, look at this drop! With the artifact in hand, we head home, drop off Barry, and ride Goldenfeather to the final underwater cave. But life update, I spent the entire night looking for this cave. In fact, hey, it's day 77, still looking for this cave. Thanks to Google, we finally found it, and luckily, this underwater cave is way easier than the other underwater cave. It ended up being a really nice swim. And hey, here's the final artifact to summon the monkey boss. With all of the monkey boss artifacts, we head home, Pokeball my army of Rexes, except you two, you gotta stay behind, and head towards the boss arena. Day 78. Shh, the dinos are sleeping. And by the way, I still don't know about the cryopod timer. So I've got a lot of time to kill. So we repair my fur armor and loot this purple chest. Remember them? Because I've been ignoring them. Luckily inside the chest it had some medicine to help us wake up sleeping dinos. Oh, thanks, Ark. So we go back to the sleeping beauties and force feed it to them. It definitely sped things up, but still more time to kill. Enough time to go home and do random chores. Day 79. That morning, we head back to the boss arena. Hopefully the T-Rexes woke up. And finally, after a full day, we're ready to fight the monkey boss. But let's pause, because I want to give some context to this specific boss. You see this cliff? It's a part of the boss arena. You see that monkey? It decided to fight my army of Rexes next to the massive cliff. The monkey died, but so did 6 of my Rexes, because they fell to their death. Cue the violin music. One of the Rexes that fell was Napoleon. Our original Rex tame, our alpha. Thanks, Ark. We held a short funeral for Napoleon and spammed F in chat. Goodbye, you sweet summer child. And if you're still watching till this long, please put an F in chat for Napoleon. He will be missed. Day 80. This is the part of the game where you're going to slowly watch me, GoodBeard, lose my mind. Because the artifact caves to summon the dragon are, in my opinion, basically impossible. And it all starts with...
Where were you like
True.
15 minutes ago?
With only 20 days to go, we must keep pushing forward on these artifact caves. Remember the Skylord cave? The first cave we tried? The one where I needed the grappling hook to get out? We had to head back there, and I wanted to see if I could finish the cave with just one wolf, mainly because my bird is able to carry one the entire way there, and it saves a bunch of time. Overall, bringing the wolf didn't work. He got super stuck, but we did manage to get the artifact again. But you know what else I forgot to bring?
Nope.
Oh. So hold, please. So we get the artifact again and rescued my wolf with console commands because he fell through the floor and dropped off the wolf at the next cave, the strong cave. But poor, ignorant GoodBeard, full of hope, you're about to see him slip into madness, all because the strong cave. Then we dropped off Shrek back at home and headed back to the strong cave to quickly grab that artifact. And so, riding my beautiful wolfy steed, we march into the cave and then our poor wolf was torn to shreds. And I had to run out of the cave naked. We held a funeral for the wolf. Poor guy didn't know what hit him. So let me explain why the strong cave is so difficult. First of all the monsters in there are pretty much max level. Also, the cave is hard because of these random looking raccoon sloth things. They'll pop out of the ground and try to knock you off their saddle. If they succeed, you're stunned for a few seconds, just long enough for the angry beast to kill you. And then on top of that, the cave is a literal maze, and with the grappling hook, you're supposed to leave your dinos behind. Do you see where I'm getting at? All these caves were just child's play compared to the beef that is this cave. But ignorant GoodBeard knows what to do. Let's go get Barry, our ultimate cave dino. Surely he will be able to take on this cave. Day 82. Today was a pretty sad day. When we got back to the cave, I learned 2 things. First, our pet monkey is dead. May he rest in peace. But worse, Barry is dead. So we're forced to fly home like sad people. So much death today. But don't worry. GoodBeard still has shreds of hope, because it's not the first time he had to start over. Surely he can defeat the strong cave. But don't worry, Ark is still cooking. Chat and I were brainstorming our next move, and we came up with a plan to grab ourselves one of those scary tree cats. Remember the one that knocked me off my saddle? Apparently, they are really good in caves because you can shoot your gun while riding on its back. So we took to the skies and tried to bait out an angry cat. Day 83. So much flying. Come to find out they're harder than you think to find. In fact, things were taking so long, we were off to find a different dinosaur. But as we gave up, the giant cat pounced. So we dragged it to the top of a hill and started to tame it. For some reason, this cat was taking forever to tame, and the food we were giving it was hardly helping. And chat told me about prime meat, aka just fancier meat, which helps the taming process go much faster. So we rummaged around base for a bit to find some of that fancy meat and returned to the big cat. But it was gone. Did someone eat it? Oh no, here it is. It just woke up. So we restarted the whole process. What was weird is that while we were waiting, this random small dinosaur just walked up to us and demanded to be tamed. Super weird. But now we have a shoulder lizard. Oh, and chat called him Egg Boy. With or without the prime meat, it was still a long wait for this cat. We ended up waiting through the night. I mean, look at us. We had to light a fire. Chat also recommended that we feed it cooked meat as well to help speed things up. And like most cats, it's super picky about food. And then... oh, this game. Luckily, when we loaded back in, the cat ate the cooked meat super fast and immediately became tamed. This time, the game crash actually helped us. And the chat named it Tom. Isn't it nice to fly around with a giant cat? It's just so efficient. After giving Tom a new saddle, we literally spent all day leveling him up. Eventually, we felt confident enough about his level and flew Tom over to the strong cave. Let's try that again. Life update, Tom can actually really handle himself. The problem is that I froze to death. At least Tom can take care of things. I wake up naked again and crafted a full set of fur armor. Should have done that earlier. Then we take Shrek to our death spot. Is it me or is Shrek much faster than Golden Wing? This time we learn from our mistakes because I don't want to be knocked off my saddle and get stunned. So we have Tom follow us and attack everything he sees. And he's really good at his job. Maybe too good. Because at one point, Tom saw something in the distance and just ran away. So here I am, alone, again. Still freezing, by the way, but that's not the problem right now. We'll fix that later. So obviously we died, and we're naked again. So we made another bird saddle and took Cappuccino to pick up Gold, Feather, and Shrek, and then went home. Because obviously when I died, so did Tom. Ugh, so that stinks. And the problem is that finding Tom in the first place just took forever. And it took him even longer to level him up. And I just don't want to do that again. So this time, ignorant GoodBeard takes his bear to the strong cave. But it's the same story. I get knocked off my saddle and can't move, and then I die. Then, per usual, they killed my bear. So I've died 3 times in this dumb cave. I've lost Barry, my monkey, may he rest in peace, lost our cat, and then our OG bear. This is when I started to rage. Of getting arked. This isn't even a proper getting arked moment. I just made a bunch of dumb decisions. On top of that, it's day 85. I still have to do 3 more caves to even fight the dragon boss. I was at my limit. Literal days of hard work. There's no way I can get to the final boss. Maybe we stop at the dragon, but that's lame. I don't want to do that. And as you can see, I'm having a mental breakdown. And I'm a little tired of dying and losing all my stuff over and over again. So guess what? I cheated. The least I can do is save my stuff. So we fly across the map, clip through the walls, and grab my inventory. Okay. Deep breaths. I'm not going to keep cheating because there's still time. I've got 14 days left. There's still time. So let's start over. This time we found a new cat pretty quickly. See? Ark is trying to help us. See, GoodBeard? We've got the cat so fast. Oh, that's okay. We can still do this honestly.
Dude!
See? There. We got a cat. And, chat named it Athena. Don't cheat. Don't cheat, don't cheat, don't cheat. Day 87.
It's gonna be a long day.
The crashes have become so common that we have added a crash counter while streaming. Eventually, the game seemed to level out and we had enough resources to craft an industrial grill. And this guy cooks insanely fast. Then we take Athena and start leveling him up. Again, see? Not cheating. It feels nice to put in honest work. We can beat Ark, regardless of being arked. And it's time to try the strong cave again. This time, we're taking things really seriously, and we go really, really slow. And took down the first room of monsters, no problem. But I'm still losing health. Why am I freezing to death? I'm wearing full fur armor. But Chad explains to me that the strong cave requires extra stuff to keep warm. Maybe some hot food or an otter. These cute little guys sit on your neck and give you extra warmth. Unfortunately, we had to go back home. Since I don't have the resources to make food to keep warm, we're forced to go find an otter. It's literally my house that's crashing the game. Oh, don't cheat. Don't cheat, don't cheat, don't cheat, don't cheat, don't cheat. Look, it's day 88. We got time. I can totally do 3 more artifact caves, beat the dragon boss, and do the final boss in time. We're fine. In the morning, I do a bit of Googling to learn where the otters are and fly up and down this river trying to find one. This time when I say all day, I literally mean all day. We swim around, fly both sides of this long river, even did it a few more times. There is no otter. But I've got tired of looking. We cheated. Look, it's just one little cheat. Everything's gonna be fine. It's fine. It's fine. And the chat names it SnuggleBeard. You know what's really cool about cheating? Look at the otter's level. It's 1,500, which makes him basically invincible. So with our new warm and cuddly friend, we once again head to the strong cave. The cave was going perfectly. We took it slow. The cat was able to stop those weird honey badgers from knocking me off my saddle. Okay. Well, dang. Even the otter died. So let's just take a break and do something else. I really need some space from this crazy game. Something about golden, man. So again, we need to find another cave dino to help us out. So let's try a new plan. So we tame up another giant cat, this raptor, and 2 smaller saber-toothed cats. And everyone say hello to our new entourage. Honestly, I was feeling really good about this idea. Now I can still ride the giant cat and have 3 other things helping us in the fight. This time it'll work. See, game? I don't need to cheat. Cheating is for losers and cowards. On day 92, we spent most of the day leveling up the squad and prepping for the strong cave. Oh, and we spawned another otter. But it's fine. It's fine. Just ignore that little guy. I was feeling confident on this run. We've got the crew. Heck, we even named them all. Here's Sabretooth the Fun, then Sir Hendrickson, Fredericks the whatever. It's been a while since that name. The big cat Mara Jade, and the raptor Bobo. On day 93, we cryo-balled the team and fly over there. Oh, and it was on this day I learned about that cryo timer in the bottom corner. See, no more sleepy dinos. We've got the crew. We've got Sir Hendrickson. We've got hope! Ladies and gentlemen, this is our run. Let's try that again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our run. Life update. They all died. It wasn't good. It was all bad. Very, very bad. Okay, so here's the thing. It's day 94. I've still got to beat this strong cave and 2 more caves, beat a dragon, and the final boss. There's no time. There's no time, okay? There's no time. None. So, I think you know what's about to happen. We took flight, ghosted through the walls, teased the monsters who can't hurt us. It was amazing. Ark, you pushed me to do this. In fact, we didn't stop at the strong cave. I did the immune cave and the underwater cunning cave too, flying around like kings, untouchable. Ark tried to stop me. In fact, the game crashed 4 times on day 94. But Ark is no match for console commands. Today, Ark must bend the knee. And at the end of day 94, we had all the artifacts to summon the dragon. And now it's finally time to prep for the boss fight. Day 95 was a dream. We flew to the dragon boss arena, dropped off the Rexes, and started the fight. We only lost 1 Rex. But that's okay, because on day 96... Oh, God. No, get it up. Oh, no. Right, jump on. Oh, no. I died. I accidentally jumped off. Our breeding Rexes dropped 2 new eggs, and we quickly hatched them. The first egg turned out to be twins, so say hello to Finkel and Lily Jr. Then the second egg hatched is Quindangle Dingle the third. And then, Legends and the Ark community joined us. Everyone say hello to NaturalCauzes and Chaotic Gaming. If you watch any Ark videos on YouTube, you've more than likely come across their content. And if you want to support them, there are links in the description. I mean, they have way more subs than me, but you're cool, and they're cool, so go check them out. On day 97, we hatched another Rex egg, and we named this green T-Rex NaturalCauzes, for obvious reasons. Then we drop off the new Rexes back at base. So this is the part of the game I was very grateful to have Chaotic Gaming and NaturalCauzes in chat, because you're about to find out that the final boss has a lot of twists and turns, and I handled things like a hot mess. Plus they warned me that I should probably start the boss fight on day 98, because this fight takes a long time. And day 98 as you can see, is tomorrow. So we hatch a few more Rexes, cryopod up the crew, and flew to the volcano to start unloading them. Then it took the rest of the day to unload the dinos from their cryopods, mainly because the game would not stop crashing. Today is the day. Day 98. We learned the game, built an army, suffered terrible loss, endured constant game crashes, beat all the bosses, and now, with this army, it's time to end this. So life update, I have 12 Rexes, battle ready to fight the boss. But only 6 or 7 actually made it through the door. So that's a problem. And the rest decided to get stuck on this random wall. So we continued on. Other Rexes fell off the cliff and died in the lava. So that's a problem. And out of my army of 12 Rexes, we were left with 2. My chances went from 100% success to basically 0%. But live or die, we're gonna finish this. And so we struggle all the way down the windy path with Shrek and 2 T-Rexes. We had a few close calls, and I almost died because I got knocked off Shrek. Oh, and by the way, the entire time, Natural Causes and Chaotic Game were watching me fail. So if you're feeling the pain, I was feeling pretty embarrassed myself. And finally, we get to the bottom of the winding path. I mean, that was really painful for me to deal with. How much worse will it get? On day 99, we enter this weird library-looking area that explains some of the story of the game. Things like bosses, the Ark, but you don't care about that. You care about the fact that one of my dinos got stuck in the wall. Wow, what a mess. I ended up needing so much help from Natural Causes and Chaotic Gaming to help me get the Rexes unstuck. Those two know all of the console commands. And with some finagling, we freed the dino and continued on to the final fight. We've only got 2 Rexes, and honestly at this point, I just wanted to do my best and take the L. There he is, the weird diamond in the sky. I was ready to lose. It was a good run, and we made some friends along the way. It's all about the journey, right? Epic music build-up. So I tell the Rexes to attack and send them to their doom. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh! Oh, we can win this! How is this happening? With the power of our lost comrades, Lily, Sharptooth, Barry, Tom, Shadow Money, Napoleon, the whole Rex army, a metric ton of wolves, and more than likely easy mode. Their lost spirits empowered the 2 Rexes, and they became unstoppable. My only job was to survive the fight. The Rexes made short work of the boss. We did it. We watched an epic cutscene, and the chat and I chanted 100 days. This was the most epic ending to a 100-day series I've ever had. So thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next 100 days. Bye-bye.